Wanting to ask you a little bit about our family's history when your dad or your grandparents first came
To
to
Texas.
Texas.
Okay. Well, let's see. The Bennetts lived in Colorado, and they had a ranch there. And I don't remember, they were in partnerships with somebody else, but his last name started with an H. And so but evidently it failed somehow. I don't know what happened to it, but they came back down here. And the reason that I remember that H part is because Dad made our brand was B Lazy H, because he said that was just exactly what happened in Colorado. So
And who was that? What was your dad's name? Your granddad's name?
Frank, I believe. I don't know, honey.
Okay.
I cannot remember their names
Okay.
for sure because I never saw them. Never.
Okay.
But they came down and stayed in Dumas, and he was looking for land, and he went southwest, and he went over towards Borger, and saw that land. It was for 50 cents an acre, and he said it was just too hilly and rocky. He didn't feel like that would be that good for the cattle, and so he came over to this Hay Creek area, and it was still hilly and stuff, but they had a creek on it and everything. And so he bought that for $1 an acre, and I think he bought 2 sections of land there. So then they built a half dugout on that right up close to the creek, and so and my grandfather diverted the water quite a ways up and got it to where the water could run into the place to have a house for cooling water. So it was, and I don't know too much about what else happened, but then I talked to Mother, is the one that I found most of it from, and I was asking her about when she moved there. I'm not sure when she did, but my dad is 10 years older than she is, and she was born in 1899. She said she could never forget her birth date because of that, and she always beat the new year in. And Dad was 10 years younger, and he came down in the covered wagon, and he was a baby. They said he was a baby, and it was in 1889 is when he was born.
Did others come down too? Not just him. Did he have brothers or cousins that you know of?
Don't remember. I think it was just that one covered wagon, as far as I know. I don't remember him talking about anyone else doing that. During that time, and there were 3, 4 boys and 2 girls that they had. Daddy was the youngest, so that was quite a group coming down. I don't know too much of anything. Oh, Mother talked about one time seeing teepee poles on our land. And and I said, what? She says, well, it was because I'm sure the Indians were moving to the reservation. There was some people they were having to go to the reservation. So I'm not sure. The land could have been, since it was 50 cents and $1 an acre, it could have been the government land that was selling to them, because how would they know anything else about it except coming down from Colorado, except that it was a government land to be sold. So that's where our land came from, is probably from the
Native Americans.
Native Americans.
Did you see the poles? Did you
no.
see any remnants by the time you were here?
Yes, there were arrowheads. My brother and I hunted for arrowheads and had arrowheads, and we found those big the rocks where they had ground the corn and things, and we would see those. In fact, I know where one is on the hill. It was so big, I always wanted to get it, but I never did. So no, they were all in that area completely. Yeah, that was it. So I'm sure and we didn't have any. The battles were all over and gone, I'm sure. So there was nothing that was having a problem for the people that were coming in. They had already, I guess the government had already cleared them out. So that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.